All right, welcome to Fully Stoned, where the facts are questionable, the opinions are definitely not, and somehow we're about to offend someone's team. So grab a cold one, buckle up, and remember, if you don't agree, well, you're probably right. So let's get fully stoned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us some feedback, some comments, the good, the bad, the ugly. We always want your thoughts, Stoney. You like hearing what people have got to say about our dribble, don't you?
I love it. I love all the bad stuff, mate. So as long as it's bad, I don't want the good stuff. I want the bad stuff, mate.
That's right. So,
Disagree with us. That's what we want.
all right. So the first we look at our topic. Sorry, we're going to look at King Cleary. We're going to look at the Karate Kid himself, Cody Walker. The new NRL broadcast deal, which is worth billions. We might chat about the T20 ladies, and they won their seventh title. And then we're going to do our random sport, which you can see down the bottom corner, but I won't announce it until we get to the page. So first topic on the agenda, Stoney, we've got talking about King Cleary after his performance last night in the Origin.
Yep,
They beat the Maroons. Well, I think it was 30-12, which is fantastic.
absolutely.
So Cleary scores 18 points, which is equal record, I believe, in Origin decider. He equals Thurston, and I'm trying to think who the other one was. I think it's a Queenslander.
Well, in a game,
Yeah.
didn't Girdler get a fair few points in a game?
Yeah, I don't know if he got 18, but he might have. But Cleary also equals Peter Sterling and Andrew Johns with four men of the matches. So the first question now I ask you, Stoney, is does this
Yep.
finally end the debate whether Nathan Cleary's good enough to do it on the big stage in Origin?
Well, look, yes and no. Everyone knows he's got the talent to do it. But whether it was they didn't really play the Penrith style last night, did they? They went away from that Penrith style. That's what wasn't working at Origin, I believe. The Penrith style of footy that he takes week in, week out at Penrith that works are wonderful. He's so great at club level. So I don't think anyone's ever doubted the bloke's talent, and he's going to be an immortal and one of the greats. I don't think that was ever in question. Was this his final frontier? Yes, because he's lost so many of the deciding games, hasn't he? In the past, 0-3, I think he was before this one. But look, even last night, he was very, very good. No, you don't score 18 points if you're a mug, do you? But
That's
I
right.
don't know if he was the best player on the field for New South Wales. I think there are a few better for New South Wales than him, and including Hudson Young, and who I'm very critical of most of the time. He was sensational last night, Hudson Young. I think the forwards and Payne Haas was just super. So I think there were better players than him last night. But look, you can only do what you can do, and 18 points in the Origin game's a fair effort, isn't it?
Yeah, so what I noticed when you said then about they didn't really play the Penrith style last night, which is good. Um, he was passing the ball early to his outside man, but it didn't look like it had any sort of structure. So they're just playing what was in front of him,
Yep,
which obviously works, right?
100%.
And especially with Queensland, their 10 meters is very questionable. I don't care. I know they got good line speed and whatever, but I always go back to they only pigeonhole the shot on the field where we can't see the 10 meters.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, as I said, their structure or lack of structure last night was the key because he got the ball out wide a lot quicker.
Absolutely. Look, it's pretty easy. I can't say it's easy, but for a coach to set a game plan to defend against the Penrith style of play, that's what Billy Slater had to do for the previous, last year, and whenever Cleary's played, because that's the style that's worked at club level. So it's pretty, once again, I can't say easy, but it's a standard thing where they weren't going away from it. Last night, you could tell that they did go away from it a little bit, and that threw Queensland out because
Yes.
there's a different style of play that they weren't used to. And look, credit as well to another guy who I think is very over, Mitch Moses. He done what he was supposed to do as a 5'8" last night. He stayed out. He only got involved. He kicked them out of trouble so many times with that long kicking game. and he didn't get over-involved in the game. He let Cleary do his thing and only got involved when they were in trouble to do the long kick. So that also helped Cleary, I think, perform at a better level.
We finally found out the reason last night why Moses has been picked in that team. And as you said, his kicking game, I think it was up over about 780 kick meters, which, might mean stuff all to a lot of people. But when it comes to stats these days, that's quite a big stat. And the fact that he was kicking 65 meters when the New South Wales were in trouble coming out of their own end and getting to tackle Queensland on their 30-meter line, which is a huge advantage when it comes to the speed of the game, right?
Yeah, well, they forced the errors as well, didn't they? Queensland was continually turned around. Their forward pack were just absolutely buggered trying to get back. So a lot of their forwards were just not effectual at all. They sort of were just tired and very getting back, which forced the mistakes in the back line. Like Capewell made many uncharacteristic mistakes.
Did he get hooked?
I think he might have. If he didn't, he should have.
Yeah, because I was thinking, surely you can't keep this bloke on. He's made two vital mistakes, and he tried to claim a crusher tackle against him, which was totally incorrect. He just fucked up, to be fair.
Correct.
So when I seen he's come off, and I thought, oh, yeah, he's got hooked, and I thought that's a big call. Billy Slater doesn't normally do that.
No, Queensland sticks solid, aren't they? Don't they say that? Queensland are stickers and not quitters, and they stay solid apparently. But no, good luck to him. Good luck to Cleary. That was probably his final frontier. He's got his man. I don't think he was player of the series, to be honest. Look, he was very good in game one, disgusting in game two, and he was in the top probably 3 players for New South Wales. I wouldn't put him at 1 or 2 though. I think there were a couple better than him. But I suppose you've got to give his performance on the night, wasn't it? Clinched the series, 18 points. It's hard to argue in a way.
Well, it's easy to give him that when, as you said, he's got 18 points. But everyone's been criticising like Cleary about how he's failed so far. But previously he's got obviously 3 man of the matches. And you tell me in any big game where the halfback is dominant in the first 15 to 20 minutes. It's normally the last 15, 20 minutes of the game where they ice the game, right? That's when they get judged.
Yeah. When the game's on the line, it's when your big players have got to step up. It's not when you're up 30-0, which unfortunately is where a lot of these so-called superstars from these other sides, they're up 30-0 and they look like world beaters. It's when the game's on the line, the big game, the crunch game, like he's done it in grand finals, hasn't he? He's won 2 grand finals single-handedly. He got involved for 15 minutes in 2 grand finals, and Penrith came from the clouds and won them. So,
but that's where as you said, your big game player has to stand up when it counts, right?
That's 100% right. 100%. Look, there are many legends of the past. Like I've always, this is my personal opinion, I've always believed Brett Kenny was a far better player than Wally Lewis at origin level, at club level, at everything else. Wally would go missing for 70 minutes a game, but guess what? Every time, when you have a look through the highlights, every time Queensland needed to win, who was the man pulling off the try or the big play to win them the game? It was Wally Lewis.
Yeah.
Brett Kenny had been involved for 70 minutes of wonderful stuff in the game, but it didn't always. It won Parramatta a few premierships, but it didn't always get the the New South Wales side over the line at origin level. So to me, I think Kenny's a far better player, all-round player, but Wally Lewis was the one that nailed and iced the big moments. So.
Yeah, I think even last night, like Cleary started off well. He obviously got a couple of tries. What was very underestimated too last night is his goal kicking.
Yeah.
Very accurate where Queensland were like a bit below par.
Yep.
And when you're scoring tries in Origin and you're going up by 6, it's easy to break away when the opposition aren't converting.
Correct.
So it makes it little things like that. Moses was, as we said, good with the kicking, so Cleary didn't have to do much kicking.
Yep.
And then Cleary would get the ball and pass it out wide, get an early ball out wide if they weren't doing that stuff up the middle. But hopefully now, as I said, I'm sick of hearing people bagging Cleary. Like, I'm not a Penrith fan by any means, but I'm a Cleary fan. And like the bloke, they bagged him in the first game and he got man of the match. Like they said, he might not have done anything. It was against 12 men, whatever. But he kicked an important 40-20.
Yep.
And he put that. I know Tedesco gets all the merit for that last try, which was fantastic, but Cleary has to kick it and he has to make it land within a metre of the goal line, because if it goes too far, it's 7 tackles, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
Hopefully, as I said, it shuts a lot of people up.
100%. It's ice in the big moments, and he did it.
So the next thing now on his list surely will be the Daily M this year, do you think, mate?
Oh, yeah. Look, it depends on how Penrith goes in a way, doesn't it? If Penrith, they're sort of on the treadmill at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, will this fire Cleary up and they start, they go into the third gear now, Penrith, instead of just idling around in first and second gear?
Yeah.
It just depends. Has he just said, "Oh, I've done everything now," and go through the motions? I don't think he will. He'll want to win one for his old man. But yeah, I don't know. That's probably the only thing he hasn't won now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. This is probably the last thing he has to tick off.
He's got some good competition out there. There's a few players running around at other clubs. Like you mentioned one earlier, Tedesco's probably right up there again, like he is every year. Because he's just an 8 or 9 out of 10 every week. So
I think the key for Cleary is not to pass it much to Dylan Edwards, because he'd be up there too.
well, exactly right. Look, there's only really one other player at Penrith that can take points off him, isn't there? And it's Dylan Edwards.
Yeah.
If Penrith are winning, then they're getting the majority, of player points every week. The only bloke who can take points off him is Dylan Edwards. So that's a big thing for him. In past years, you had Luai and these other blokes running around that could take points off him, but you're not seeing Blaise Talungi and any of those outside backs and all these guys stealing points off him anymore. So he'd be an odds-on favourite at the moment, I would think.
Yeah, well, good luck to him, and well done last night, Nathan Cleary and the New South Wales Blues. So,
and good old Snorkel, good old Laurie Daly.
Yeah.
Laurie Daly. Good on him. We all bag him as a coach, but he's a wonderful bloke. He's a good bloke. Means well. Yeah, and a super player.
Good way to finish.
100%.